This is Count Midnight. Again, we're talking to cast members and the director of The Vision, which is going to be premiering on Friday, March 13th, 2009, with a beforehand meet and greet at 7 p.m. at the Rialto Square Theatre in Joliet at 125 North Chicago Street. And right now we have one of the main actors in the movie, Gary Gaw. How are you doing today, Gary?
Oh, I'm doing great. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And Gary, why don't you tell our audience what part you play?
I play the part of Arthur Shawn. He's a psychology professor at a local university, and he's the person that our lead character goes to for help in interpreting the vision.
And what type of interpretation do you provide?
Arthur, it really doesn't believe much in the vision.
Okay.
Right. So he tries to steer her away from believing that it has any significance at all.
Any type of, in other words, he's trying to dissuade her that it's perhaps not supernatural? Would that be correct?
Exactly. The last person that came to him, her brother, as a matter of fact, also thought he had these visions, and he tried to steer him away, and now it's the little sister who has the vision, and he has some doubt in this movie just because of the events that play out, but he definitely thinks that there's trouble ahead if she continues investigating these visions.
And have you had any visions in your life?
I'm having one right now.
You're having one right now. Any other visions or any other supernatural experiences?
No, not really. No, I'm pretty even keel existence, I'm afraid.
Okay, and are you a psychologist or anything in real life, or what do you do for a living otherwise?
I'm a junior high school science teacher.
Oh, that's a psychologist. Right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of psychology there.
Great. And how did you become hooked up with Robert? And you've been in several of his movies, right?
I have.
In fact, he said you're almost like a partner, really.
It really has over the last several years. It's to the point where we can almost finish each other's thoughts. I don't want to say it's like we're married. That would be weird. But yeah, we really understand each other, and I've learned how he directs and how he thinks, and I think he understands what I'm able to do and what I, can understand, and so we work real well together, and it's been good.
Great. And what do you like best about being in a movie? And have you had any theatrical experience as well, or?
Yeah, actually, I started in high school, like a lot of folks. As a freshman in high school, I was a short lad, barely 5 foot tall, and they were doing a play where they needed somebody to play the part of a young child, like 10 years old or something, and they didn't know where they were going to find somebody in high school. Well, my English teacher happened to be the director of the school play, and I walked in on the first day, and he looked at me and said, "Kid, I'm going to make you a star." And I said, "What do you mean?" He talked me into trying out for the play, and I was in all the school plays after that, some college productions, community theater. And then my community theater group had an ad that Robert had taken out, advertising auditions for Time Server, the one he did about 5 years ago now. And it was on a Wednesday night, and I had nothing to do that night. I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to take it to the next level. I'd done a lot of community theater at that point. I'd like to try my hand at film. And so I went to the audition, and they called me back again and couldn't make up their mind, and so called me back a few more times and finally gave me the part. And we've been working together ever since.
And what are your experiences like acting on stage versus acting in a film?
Wow, that was the biggest challenge and adjustment that had to be made. For stage, everything's big. They always tell you you're playing to the old lady in the back row. So everything, expressions, voice, projection, everything has to be really big. And film, as you know, is very subtle. And so the first thing I had to learn was how to pull way back and be a little bit more realistic. And once you figure that out, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and just as an aside here, we know of a theater where the old lady in the back row died during the production. So.
Oh, no.
Yes. But anyway, great. And Robert, do you have Robert? Oh, you don't look like Robert at all. Well, if you're wearing a hat. Robert, can we borrow your hat? Gary, do you have a website?
I do, actually, GaryGao.com.
Okay.
And got all kinds of fun information on there and upcoming projects and things like that. And
great. Well, what are some of your upcoming projects?
Well, actually, you'll be able to spot me on the Discovery Investigation channel. It's one of the Discovery channels, playing actually a DEA agent, drug enforcement.
Okay.
And they're retelling the story of an undercover operation where they went undercover to bring down a group of the Hells Angels in Salem, Massachusetts, back in the 90s. And so I play the part of the DEA agent. So that's coming up, but you never know what's around the corner.
And what's the name of that show?
That is going to be called Undercover Retread.
Undercover Retread.
Right.
Why?
It's an undercover series.
Yeah.
It's a weekly series. It's all.
Well, we're all retreads here. I mean,
I was first told it was going to be called Undercover Hells Angels.
Yeah.
But I've recently been on their website and they've renamed it Operation Retread. Have no idea what the connection is.
Okay. And so, do you have fun playing a DEA agent?
I have a lot of fun. It was actually similar to the part I recently played as an FBI agent on TNT's Leverage with Timothy Hutton.
Okay.
And so I borrowed from my FBI files there to play the DEA agent. Very similar. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I was just going to say, is there any difference between the agencies in terms of getting into character of the agent? Especially in drug enforcement.
Not so much, just very serious, straight and serious is all there is. But no, it's a lot of fun.
Great. And what did you like best about being in The Vision?
It was a lot of fun. For a suspense thriller, being bloodied up, I think, was one of my most enjoyable memories of that.
And what's Robert's formula for blood there? Most people use chocolate sauce, or what did he use there?
Oh, he won't tell anybody. He's guarding it as a secret. Yeah.
Was it sticky?
Oh, it was sticky.
So he used the chocolate sauce. Okay.
And a bit runny. Actually, yeah.
It taste any good?
I didn't get to experience that, but I'm pretty sure that Jody will be able to answer that question. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And maybe Robert should bring some of that to premiere, right? And offer it up as a drink,
Hey, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Anything else you want to say to the camera, Gary?
Just that the folks of Joliet are going to have an unbelievable opportunity to attend a Hollywood-style movie premiere, and it's not very often you really get the opportunity to do that locally. So I would recommend you take advantage of that.
Great. And The Vision being a horror film, I understand you also, as a theatrical role, were in a production of Dracula, correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. What did you play Dracula?
I didn't. I played Jonathan Harker.
Oh, okay.
And so we did get to, actually that was probably one of my favorite roles, primarily due to the fact that I was able to assist the individual who drove the stake through the heart of Dracula. We had really good effects for that, and it was a lot of the gasp that came from the audience was worth it.
You don't have any stakes around here, right, Robert? You'll find one. You'll find one. Okay, well, we'll keep this guy away here.
Can you show me how to do that?
Yeah, okay.
Another trade secret.
It's a trade secret there. And we're wondering if our camera person's going to make it home today. Anyway, how many times were you in that role? How many theatrical performances? And where was it at?
It was Payless Village Players is the name of the group. It's a community group, and unfortunately, we only had 5. It was a run of 5 performances, and that's how they do it there. But boy, they were 5 memorable performances. Let me tell you. Okay,
well, not like a Bela Lugosi then, who had thousands of stage performances before his movie.
Well, no, exactly. But as far as the Dracula thing, no, it's 5. We had 5 performances. But as far as if you're asking about the how many stage performances total, years. I'm getting to be an old man, and I've done this. Done it a while, but I've kind of lost track of how many shows we've done.
Does acting in the different medium from theater to film, we talked about what the differences are, but does any of that help you in the other medium? For instance, you're acting in the theater. Does that give you any insight into how to act for film and vice versa?
They seem totally different. I mean, you get so much out of each one. With the live theater, you can't beat that immediate feedback from the audience. To know if they're getting it and enjoying it or not. With film, you don't know that, but you get a chance to retake it and retake it again until you're happy with it. I like the continuity in theater. You get on a roll, and your momentum builds up, and you feed off the audience. And film, you don't even film the show in order, and so oftentimes, I don't often use this phrase oftentimes, but oftentimes I will. I have no idea what I started this.
I'm completely mesmerized at this point.
I've got no idea what my original point was, but I oftentimes do something.
Who the hell am I talking to? Anyway. All righty. Well, keep going with whatever thought that is.
Yeah. But no, just the trying to find your character when they say, okay, we're filming this. It takes place in the middle of the film or at the end of the film, especially if your character has growth to it and development. It gets really tricky. In this particular role, I mean, Arthur's a pretty solid guy. There's some development by the end of the show, but going back to Time Server, that character ended a completely different person than when he started. And so when you're trying to figure out, okay, today's scene that we're shooting, where does that fit in? It takes a lot of concentration and help for the director to get you on track. And again, in theater, you just roll with it, and there's a natural continuity to it.
So are you a method actor?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Just get into character and say the lines.
Exactly, right. So I find myself a little, just on that day, place, if it's a real serious scene, I remember where I'm supposed to be, and I do like to separate myself a little bit just so that I can figure out where I need to be mentally before we start shooting. But I don't go home in character or anything like that. My wife wouldn't tolerate that.
Yeah, especially if you're a serial killer. You don't go home in character.
Exactly.
Great. Well, and anything else then you want to say to the camera?
No, just enjoy the vision.
Okay, great. Gary, appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, great.
Hi, I'm Gary Gow. I play Arthur Shawn in Robert Alaniz's The Vision. You're watching Count Midnight.